Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, Ms. Holland, Ms. Rinchak, both activate your audio and videos, please. All right.
I just have audio.
Okay. If you both raise your right hands for me. You swear the testimony in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, I heard Ms. Holland, Ms. Rinchak.
You. Sorry,
Okay, there we go. All right, and Ms. Holland, you take care of Ms. Rinchak's father, is that right?
No, she does not.
I did when he was here. He's been since sent to the hospital, and as far as I've been informed, he's now at her home, and we have had no contact with him. We have not been allowed to speak with him or anything, and we've been worried, and we've been trying to get in touch with him.
Okay, but if he's under Ms. Rinchak's care, what's your interest in that?
Because when I'm here, I'm his caretaker. He spoke to Adult Protective Services, and he told them that he did not want to be around her.
Okay,
And
so who are you hired by? Adult Protective Services?
no, him.
Okay. And is it just, how did you get hired? Is there a written contract between the two of you?
No, there's not. I do have a letter signed by Michael stating that I do live here with my son. He asked me to take care of him when I was here when we met. I was moving in here for a residence to take care of my son, and all that. And it just came about that he asked me to help. And he had to go to the hospital, and he's not. I haven't heard from him since.
Okay. All right, Ms. Rinchak.
My father is currently in my home on hospice care. He went to the hospital because of bed sores, because he had not been being taken care of. And she is not a hired caregiver. He had a caregiver.
There is a daycare,
an agency that was paid through the VA, and I have spoken with Adult Protective Services, and there has been multiple other reports made by the VA and people at the hospital about the care that he received there with them. Miss Holland was staying at my dad's house as a friend of my brother. My brother passed away on the 19th, and this was all, me and Bonnie had no issues. I have text messages where I've thanked her for helping while we were getting things situated, to where she then had some gentleman come to the house with paperwork, and in that paperwork, the process server has never even filed that he served the paperwork. My son is Cody Saunders. He's not here because he was never served.
Okay.
There's like 15 people living on my father's property, and at this time,
that is untrue.
Taking things out of the property.
That is untrue.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Rinchak, where you live, does that have any proximity to where Ms. Holland resides?
I'm in Puyallup. She lives in my father's home. He wants to die at home. I can't take him home because they're there.
Okay. And you said he's in hospice care right now?
Yeah. He's got cancer into his bones.
Okay.
It started with a bladder mass that has progressed into his bones. The only person that I had any verbal altercation with on the property was my brother's girlfriend. And that was because I showed up on the evening of the 20th after I had been informed that my brother died the night before and asked why nobody had called to let me know he had passed away or to let me know that my father had been there all day with no family.
All right,
Your Honor,
Ms. Holland, go
when
ahead.
her brother Greg, excuse me,
Say, go ahead.
when her brother Greg died, we are not the ones responsible for calling her Randy, and there was other family members that were informed, and they were the ones who were supposed to let her know. We did not have her phone number. I had never seen her or met her. She had never been here to visit her father since I've been here, which has been a year.
I was there on the 12th, and she lied to me and told me my husband was at the casino with my brother.
Ms. Rinchak, don't interrupt, please. You just wait till I ask you to say something. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Holland.
I had never met her until the day that she showed up after her brother passed away. When she did show up, she was intoxicated. Her son was intoxicated, and her husband was intoxicated. They busted into the garage, which is a living space for her brother and his girlfriend, and she started screaming and yelling at people. I calmed her down, told her that I had no way of getting in touch with her, anything like that. And yes, I was very polite and nice with her. She had a gun with her. Her son, she called her and forced her, was pretty much intimidating people going around. Her husband didn't say or do anything. And they threatened to put her brother's girlfriend in the pond, which is there's a pond out back on the property. They continued to get more belligerent as they're here drinking more and more. They were here for quite a while. Her son attacked somebody here on the property. There's multiple things. What Adult Protective Services came in investigating her for mental abuse on her father. He talked to them. He told them that he wanted me here taking care of him and that he did not want her or her son to be here on the property. He did that himself. No one else spoke for him. When he left to go to the hospital, he was not covered in bed sores. He had one bed sore, and that was from him refusing to get up and eat and things like that. And that is why we called and had him, the ambulance, and had him looked at because we were worried about him. Since he was called and been put in the hospital, we have had no contact. She went to the hospital and she made it to where we could not find out anything, including his daytime caregiver and their company. He was not allowed to speak to him or see him. We have been giving absolutely no information. Michael, he wants to be here. That is his wish. He wants to die in his home. He can be brought back here by the ambulance, transportation, by anybody else but her because of the way she acted when she was here. And her father said he did not want her here. That is why I went in for the protection order. I should have went in and put in a vulnerable adult order. I didn't really know anything about it until I started doing the protection order for me. Otherwise, I would have put in a vulnerable adult protection order. Adult Protective Services, they were called. They have to be called. And I've spoken with them. And she's the one who is under investigation. We are very worried about Mike. Very worried. There's nobody on this property taking anything from him. The only people who have showed up here have been people that she has sent here to take things like his paperwork. When she was here, she tried to take his bank card. She took his files, his will. I mean, everything like that. And her brother's daughter came to get some of her dad's belongings. That is all. No one here has done anything.
Ms. Holland, let me ask you some questions. The home you're residing in is yours? Are you Do you rent there?
No,
What's the story?
It is Michael Saunders' home. I do pay to rent here, but then I started taking care of him for rent.
Okay. And do you have a rental contract?
No, I do not. All I have is a letter for the school district stating that I live here and things like that, signed by him. There is no rental contract, no.
Why the school district?
Because they needed to have an address, verification for address and the place of residence.
Well, yeah, but why the school district? Do you have a child going to school there?
Yes, my son. I have a 7-year-old son.
Oh, okay. So school district wanted to know where you were residing.
Yes.
All right. But you have no familial relationship to Mr. Saunders.
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. I'm going to enter a denial on the request for the order in this case. I don't find any legal basis for you to argue that you have entitlement to see Mr. Saunders. I think your concerns about his safety and Ms. Rinchak's care you've addressed through vulnerable adult services, and that's the appropriate avenue to take, and they can do whatever
What about the
investigations.
gun?
They're gonna take whatever investigations they want to take on and make any determinations that they will make from that. But at this point, I'll say to Ms. Rinchak, Ms. Hollins made clear that she doesn't want to have any contact from you. Your father apparently is at your place now, so you have no basis for contacting Ms. Holland. If on behalf of the family, there's a desire to reclaim the property, you're going to have to work through legal means to do that. You can't send your grandson there to drive her out. None of that. She's living there initially with Mr. Saunders' permission, and so she has a right to be there until that's made clear legally that she doesn't. So I don't want to hear about from anybody that you or your family members are going there and harassing her. She's made that clear that happened once. I don't expect it to happen again. And you're going to take legal action if you want to reclaim the property. So that's all I'm going to say.
Family members can go there to get his belongings on his behalf, right? We got his eyeglasses and his phone and his teeth. That was all they were sent there.
I'm not issuing any order in this case, but
make sure.
Your grandson left a really negative impression when he went there. Or your son.
He brought a gun and showed me the gun.
Okay, yeah. All right, Ms. Holland, thank you. And you should not go back there. Ms. Holland's made very clear she does not want to see you, Ms. Rinchak. So
we'll take care of the rest of it in other means. Courts.
All right, thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you, Your Honor.